Have you ever wondered how a family with no electricity, no phone, and no online presence can earn $10,000 in just a few hours? Between 4 in the morning and noon, something unusual happens and it quietly outperforms the modern business world. The Amish chicken operation. The Amish chicken operation that produces a $10,000 sale day is not a factory. It is a family farm, a modest operation where 500 chickens are raised on pasture, moved regularly to fresh ground, fed without antibiotics or synthetic hormones, processed by hand, and sold directly to buyers who have been purchasing from this farm for years. The premium these chickens command reflects a clear difference in quality. A supermarket chicken raised in a commercial system costs between $3 and $5. An Amish pasture-raised chicken, slower grown, better fed, and sold fresh sells for $15 to $25. 500 birds at an average of $20 each equals $10,000. The arithmetic is simple. The system behind it is not. Before the sale day, the $10,000 morning begins weeks earlier with sourcing chicks, preparing brooders, and maintaining a strict daily routine. Birds are moved across pasture regularly to ensure fresh forage and healthy conditions. This rotation improves both land use and meat quality. Processing takes place in the days before the sale. It's labor-intensive, involving the entire family handling slaughter, plucking, cleaning, and chilling. Processing 500 birds over a few days means doing by hand what commercial facilities automate, resulting in a fresher product. The sale day reflects weeks of preparation, discipline, and consistent work. The auction system. The Amish poultry auction is a community event where buyers and sellers know each other. Trust and long-term relationships shape the market. Buyers include families, restaurant owners, and repeat customers who value consistent quality. Prices rise through competitive bidding. Buyers who recognize the difference are willing to pay for it. The auctioneer moves quickly through batches, balancing speed with price, using experience to read demand. What looks like a simple sale is actually the result of reputation, consistency, and a system built on trust rather than technology. The moment of the sale. What 500 chickens selling in one morning actually looks like is organized, fast, and communal. The birds arrive at the sale location in crates, handled carefully because a stressed or damaged bird commands a lower price. And the same standards that create a premium product apply through the final moments of sale. The family is present, the father managing logistics, older children handling the movement of product, the mother aware of transactions, and younger children observing a commercial event that is also a community gathering. Buyers move through the sale, inspecting product, placing bids, receiving purchases, and paying in cash, the standard medium of exchange at Amish events. The cash accumulates. By noon, 500 birds have changed hands at an average of $20 per bird. The calculation is simple. $10,000 earned in a single morning without electricity, phones, advertising, or debt. Cash only. The $10,000 that changes hands at an Amish poultry sale changes hands in cash, not by electronic transfer, not by credit card, not by invoice to be paid net 30. Cash paper currency counted out at the point of transaction, verified by both parties, and carried home by the seller in an envelope rather than deposited through a smartphone app. The Amish cash-only commercial standard is not a primitive failure to adopt modern payment systems. It is the practical expression of the same financial philosophy that governs every other aspect of Amish economic life. Money is real when it is in hand, transactions are complete when payment is made, and the credit economy's deferred payment apparatus is a mechanism for paying for things you do not have the money to buy, which is something the Amish do not do. Cash also eliminates the transaction costs that electronic payment systems impose, the percentage taken by credit card processors, the fees charged by payment platforms, the infrastructure required to receive digital payments. The seller who receives $10,000 in cash has received $10,000. The seller who receives the same amount through a card terminal or payment platform has received somewhat less after the system takes its share. The Amish preference for cash is not nostalgia. It is arithmetic. What happens to the $10,000? The $10,000 that arrives on the kitchen table after a successful sale day does not stay there long, and it does not go into a single account to accumulate until the next purchase the family wants to make. It is divided according to the priorities that govern Amish household financial management, and those priorities reflect the community's values as much as the family's individual needs. The first allocation is farm costs, the feed, the chick purchases, the processing supplies, and the equipment maintenance that produced this batch of birds and that will need to be repeated for the next one. The second allocation is the community contribution, the church alms fund, the ongoing mutual aid commitments, the obligations to neighbors and church members that Amish community membership carries. The third allocation is household needs, the family's expenses for food, clothing, and the daily operational costs of the household across the coming weeks. The fourth allocation is savings, the accumulated capital that builds toward the farm's next significant investment, whether that is additional land, improved facilities, or the resources needed to expand the operation's productive capacity. The proportion of the $10,000 that reaches the savings category depends on how the other allocations fall. In a well-managed Amish farm household, the savings allocation is not an afterthought, but a deliberate and consistent portion of every successful sale, the capital accumulation that, across years of consistent production and disciplined allocation, builds the farm's long-term economic foundation. Business success rate. The $10,000 chicken sale is a single data point in a pattern that researchers have found consistently remarkable. Amish businesses have a 95% survival rate at 5 years, a figure documented by author Eric Wesner in his book Success Made Simple, backed by research from Elizabethtown College sociologist Donald Craybill, whose studies of multiple Amish settlements found business failure rates ranging from 2.6 to 4.2%. The comparable figure for American businesses generally hovers just under 50%, meaning that roughly half of all new American businesses close within 5 years, while roughly 95% of Amish businesses remain open. As Craybill's scholarship has noted, the phrase Amish millionaire is no longer an oxymoron. The reasons behind the success rate are consistent across the research that has examined at hard work and cooperation as the foundational business virtues. Employees treated as family rather than disposable inputs, growth managed cautiously without the debt financing that makes modern businesses fragile, and a community support network that provides the labor, the capital, and the customer base that most businesses must build from scratch. The Amish farmer selling 500 chickens is not operating in isolation. He is operating as a node in a community network that has supported his operation from its first day. And that network is one of the reasons the operation will still be running in 5 years when half of the businesses that launched the same week have closed. No advertising. The Amish farmer who sold 500 chickens this morning did not advertise the sale. There is no Facebook page for the farm. There is no Instagram account with photographs of happy chickens on green pasture. There is no Amazon storefront, no Google business listing, no Yelp reviews, no email marketing list. The buyers who showed up and spent $10,000 found the sale through the same channels that Amish commercial relationships have always operated through word of mouth, community connection, personal recommendation, and the accumulated reputation of a farm that has been producing consistent quality for long enough that its reputation precedes it in every transaction. The marketing budget for a successful Amish farm business is zero. The reputation that replaces it is built through the consistent delivery of a product that is exactly what the seller represents it to be, at a price that the buyer finds fair, in a transaction conducted with the directness and honesty that Amish commercial culture produces. A buyer who purchases from an Amish farm and finds the product excellent tells other buyers. A buyer who finds the product disappointing stops buying. The feedback loop is immediate, personal, and community visible, a commercial accountability system that no platform algorithm or review system has improved upon. The Amish farmer does not need advertising because his reputation travels faster and more effectively than any advertisement he could place. The role of time. What most people miss in this entire process is the role of time. Not clock time, but production time. An Amish chicken is not rushed to market. It is raised over a longer cycle, allowed to grow at a natural pace, and fed in a way that prioritizes health over speed. This slows everything down, but it also changes the final product in a way buyers can immediately recognize. In the modern system, efficiency is measured by how quickly something can be produced and sold. In this system, efficiency is measured by how little needs to be corrected later. There are fewer losses, fewer rejected products, and fewer dissatisfied buyers. The slower timeline reduces volatility. It creates consistency. And consistency is what allows buyers to return without hesitation. The customer does not need to be convinced every time. They already know what they are getting. That removes one of the biggest costs in business uncertainty. The extra time invested at the beginning removes problems at the end. What looks like a slower system is actually a more stable one, and that stability is what supports a $10,000 morning without needing to chase new customers every week. The power of community support. There is also something happening beneath the surface of this sale that most people never notice: the absence of isolation. The Amish farmer is not building this operation alone. Labor is shared when needed. Knowledge is passed down without being sold. Equipment is repaired within the community instead of being outsourced. Even buyers are not strangers, but part of a network built over years of repeated transactions. This removes one of the biggest hidden costs in modern business, starting from zero every time. There is no need to build trust from scratch or constantly prove credibility. The foundation already exists, and every sale strengthens it further. This creates momentum that does not depend on technology or scale. It depends on continuity, the same relationships, the same standards, and the same expectations carried forward over time. But the deeper advantage is reliability. When a problem appears: a broken tool, a delayed batch, unexpected demand, the solution is often already nearby. Someone in the community has faced it before, solved it, or is willing to help solve it again. This reduces downtime and prevents small problems from turning into major losses. There is also an unspoken accountability within this system. Everyone knows who produced what, who delivered quality, and who did not. That visibility replaces formal enforcement. It keeps standards high without needing contracts, reviews, or external oversight. That is why the system does not collapse under pressure. It is not being rebuilt every season. It is supported, reinforced, and simply continued. The most successful business model in the room has no website, no logo, and no electricity. It does not participate in the credit economy, does not employ a marketing department, does not use a smartphone for transactions, and does not measure success by growth rate or market share. It measures success by whether the farm is still operating, still productive, still solvent, still capable of providing for the family and contributing to the community, and by that measure, it succeeds at a rate that the modern business world has never approached and cannot explain without confronting the values that produce it. Hard work, honesty, community, financial discipline, reputation over advertising, quality over volume, and the long view over the quarterly report. These are not ancient practices that the modern economy has superseded. They are the practices that produce a 95% business survival rate in a world where half of all businesses fail in 5 years. The Amish farmer who counted $10,000 on the kitchen table this morning did not do anything remarkable by his community's standards. He did what his father did, and what his grandfather did, and what the community has done for 300 years. He raised the birds well, processed them honestly, sold them at a fair price, paid his obligations, saved what remained, and went back to work the following morning. The system works. It has always worked. It will work tomorrow morning at 4, when the barn chores begin again.